Joining me this morning from the Fitchburg Police Department is Lieutenant Chad Breklin, very good friend of the show. Chad, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Really
Thanks
appreciate
for the
it.
Invitation. Always happy to chit-chat with our Fact TV friends.
We appreciate it. So you kind of had, you've got a lot going on in the police department, as always, of course. But one that's kind of a national one, but is also, I think, has a really good significance here because it's been put on, or it's been well done. That's the crime prevention picnic.
Yeah, Officer Jay Wilson, as many of you know, who recently retired, was the main coordinator for that our Crime Day picnic for quite a few years. I'd hate to even fathom a guess, but my guess is it was probably the better part of a couple of decades. And with his recent retirement, we turned the reins over to Officer Kelly Jacobson as our coordinator, and we again had our Crime Day picnic the first Saturday in August. And it's always a good opportunity for our staff and the community to come out and mingle with one another, get to know one another, see a few police-related vehicles and canine units and helicopters and those sorts of things. And it's just a good opportunity once a year to kind of, say hello to one another and, maybe meet some new friends and so forth.
Yeah, I think it was well attended. Certainly, we ran some stories after the fact about it. But not only is it great for the community and prevention, but it's also cool to see emergency management kind of come together as well at the event.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the vehicles are always popular. They
have lights on them. What else
truck,
is it? Come
police
on.
cars, helicopters. Those sorts of things always go over well with kids. I mean, we get numerous requests throughout the year for an officer in a car to show up at a variety of neighborhood and civic events, and we're always happy to accommodate as many of those requests as possible. But there's something about as a kid being able to flip lights on and siren on, and feel like you can save the world.
I can just imagine the questions that you get from the kids. I would just guess. So that's probably pretty interesting. All right. Well, I'm glad that was a success here. And we'll move on to some crime prevention and updates on ongoing crime maybe on the west side of town.
Yeah, we've been experiencing in the last 2 to 3 months or so an uptick in burglaries, thefts from autos, and the thefts from autos have also led to quite a few stolen automobiles as well. What we're finding is there's some folks that are going through cars in the overnight hours that are unlocked, taking valuables from them in particular, and then if they find a car with keys in it, they are actually taking the car. So burglaries, thefts, stolen cars, vast majority of them are preventable. And what we're encouraging residents to do is exercise good, sound crime prevention measures. Lock the doors to your car. Take the keys from the car. Do not leave valuables in the car. Same with your house. Keep your house locked. Particularly, I'm also like to preach, keep the door from your garage to your house locked as well. It's just another added measure of prevention. And leave lights on outside or install motion detection lights. Talk with your neighbors, get to know them, let them know if you're going to be gone. And as always, if you see or hear anything suspicious, give us a call at our dispatch center. You can use a non-emergency number if you don't feel it's an emergency. That's the 270-4300 number. And whenever we have an officer available, or if we have one available right then, we'll send an officer or two out to take a look at it and see what's going on.
Yeah, we had talked about it on this show, the See Something, Say Something campaign, and I think this is just another great reminder that if you guys will take the calls and you'll come out and do it, don't feel afraid to call if you see something.
Absolutely. That's been one of the advantages. We've tried to maintain as much of a small-town police department as possible with a service-oriented slant to it, where if if the department is called, which again, I should remind our listeners that we do have our own dispatch center here in the city of Fitchburg with a city of Fitchburg employee. So you are talking to somebody here in Fitchburg, and we've always prided ourselves on sending an officer out to take a look at something.
That's good to know. Good to know here. Last but not least, with back to school kind of coming up, what are some measures that you guys will be taking as the school year starts?
As always, summer goes by way too quickly.
I know. I hate to talk about
Parents
it.
are ready for kids to get back. So from that perspective, summer never seems to go fast enough. And from the kids' perspective, it's the morning has started.
Right.
But yeah, school time or back to school time is a good opportunity for all of us to be reminded to be more mindful of the kids coming to and from school by bicycle, by foot, by car, and so forth. School buses will be out. We probably should mention there is that new school bus law that just recently went into effect where the buses are now going to be equipped with amber lights. And when you see the amber lights, that's your warning that you should be slowing to a stop because the bus is going to be picking up or letting off children. And most definitely when you see the red flashing lights and the stop arm out, you do need to stop with the exception of a divided highway with a physical median or other barrier between it. But we'll be visible in our school zones as schools gets rolling here, and we'll also probably have our speed board out to help remind people to slow down and so forth. But again, can't stress it enough. Keep your eyes open for the kids out, the increased traffic, the buses. Fasten your seat belts, watch your speed, stop at stop signs, and the school year will get off to a good start.
Yeah, and reminder in the school zones, if you see a school zone sign, and there's kids present, you do need to slow down to the posted.
Absolutely, and also be mindful of the crossing guards. We had to be remiss in my duties if I didn't remember to mention the crossing guards. In Fitchburg, there's a couple that, our residents will see on a regular basis, one being at Lacey Road and Osmondson, and the other we share with Madison up in front of Leopold School on Post Road. And then obviously there are a number of other crossing guards scattered throughout the metro area. But, when you see a crossing guard come out with the stop arm up, please obey what they are asking you to do. They're there to keep the kids safe and allow them to safely cross the road. And crossing guards do have the statutory authority to file a police report regarding a vehicle that has failed to follow their stop indications. So we will follow up on those as well.
Good information as always, Chad. Appreciate taking the time. Stay safe out there, you and the department, and we'll look forward to having you back next month.
Sounds good. Thanks for the invitation.